What up? What up? What up? It's Rec League Podcast, man. I appreciate you coming back here with me, kicking it, listening to the nonsense that we got to talk about for a couple hours. My name is Randy Little. Um, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram at Rec League Podcast, at Rec League Pod on Twitter, man. Check us out. Uh, if you ain't recognized by the episode title, this is a Marvel episode. We're nerds. We're movie nerds. We're talking MCU. Some DC snuck in, so I ain't gonna front like it's all MCU. But the guys, E. Sigmund, Nick Goodman. We talk about the Shang-Chi trailer. We talk about Falcon and Winter Soldier. And it just Marvel, man. Just appreciate the Marvel Cinematic Universe. I was gonna have my guy Javon Merritt, my guy Legacy. He was gonna be on here with us. He had family issues though; he couldn't make it, man. But I want to say he rebranded his whole social media conglomerate. I don't know. I'll use a big word that sounds important. But yeah, shout out, just my thoughts, man. JUSMI Thoughts 1 on Twitter, on Instagram, and I believe on YouTube. But he ain't got his YouTube videos popping yet. But that's coming soon. That's my dog supporting. So we're getting into like summer movie season 2021. So theatrically, I just want to say like the Mortal Kombat movie came out, and then on Netflix and Amazon this past weekend, Without Remorse with Michael B. Jordan came out on Amazon Prime, and then the Mitchells versus the Machines just came out on Netflix. On my personal Randy Little YouTube channel, you can catch up reviews for those. Shameless plug. Over the next 2 weeks, the Wrath of Man, directed by Guy Ritchie, comes out 2 theaters, and the weekend of the 14th before the next podcast, you got Spiral from the Book of Saw, the highly anticipated in my circle, ninth, 8th, 7th, 8th, 9th. Nah, what? Saw 3D was 7. Jigsaw was 8. So Spiral is the 9th Saw movie. That's kind of bananas. And then Those Who Wish Me Dead with Angelina Jolie, John Bernthal, Tyler Perry. I forget who the big antagonist is in that movie, but it's directed by Taylor Sheridan, who directed Hell or High Water, and did he direct Wind River? I don't remember, but I think he wrote it, and he wrote Sicario. So yeah, Those Who Wish Me Dead sounds and looks really good. And then The Woman in the Window with Amy Adams comes out on Netflix that week. I'm excited for all of those movies. I want to know what y'all excited for. Blu-ray and DVD been kind of light recently, but this upcoming, like May is crazy. Like I know it's May 2nd, 3rd, depending on when it's get uploaded. This upcoming Tuesday, Judas and the Black Messiah come out on Blu-ray. The Little Things with Denzel Washington and Rami Malek come out on Blu-ray. And then Nomadland, the Oscars was last weekend, so Nomadland did come out this past Tuesday. I just didn't buy it, so it slipped my mind. And then Tuesday the 11th, the next DC animated movie, Justice Society World War II, comes out. And then I think All About the Benjamins comes out from Shout Factory. But then there might be 1 or 2 other ones that are slipping my mind because, like I said, April is crazy. Shout Factory releases a lot of stuff this month. And then, like, May 25th specifically, Paramount is just dumping, like, 10 catalog titles. But I'll list those off when I get closer to that date. So, like I said, man, it's Rec League, man. Stick with us. We gonna talk Marvel. What up, nerds? Like I told y'all in the intro, man, like I had my little procedure a few days ago I wasn't gonna do this episode, but I didn't want to let my boys down, man, because it was news, but like the only news that I really like cared about over the past 2 weeks was like all the Marvel stuff. So Mortal Kombat came out. Like I think we all at least thought it was watchable. Y'all want to go on any Oscar rants?
Nick, you got anything on the Oscars?
I do, but I've come to like Oscar night, like trying to put everything together. Like, what the fuck were they thinking? In like the week since, it's like I feel like I know like what they were trying to do, and they just kind of like didn't do it well.
Just landed
it wasn't
flat
the
on their
worst
face.
award show that I've seen in COVID era. It was better than the Golden Globes.
Yeah.
Even with all like the winning fiascos, it was still better than the Globes.
Charlie Sheen was there.
Oh yeah. He should have been. That would have been the only thing to make it weirder.
I mean,
Charlie showed up.
Given the circumstances, we're still in a pandemic. I think it was bound to be bizarre, like every other award show.
Nobody showed up to the Oscars in their pajamas.
Yeah, I mean, I commend them on that. The way they set it up, Japanese there, and the presenters.
I thought the setup was kind of nice, but like it was like the cameraman or whoever, like it was like they didn't know where to go. Like it was like, they were like, look, this is nice and cozy. Let's have the presenters go out with the crowd and present. And like instead of showing clips of the nominated work, they would just be like, Daniel Kaluuya, you are Grace and Boys. And like the camera like awkwardly like shifts over to him. Like, as we look at him while Laura Dern is talking about him, instead of showing him like do acting in a video. I thought that might have been the weirdest part of the whole thing. Like no video clips almost at all.
So was there like one cameraman like running around trying to get who's on stage and who they're talking about?
What I pictured. They were like going back and forth. They were like, as a child, her favorite movie was E.T. and she decided that she was going to make movies about. And it's like the cameraman's like, oh shit.
Yeah.
No, where is Spielberg here? No. Like he was like looking around. I thought that was like the weirdest part of the night. That
So
like
there was
not everybody talked about.
nobody in a truck with multiple guys. Cut to Kaluuya. Cut to Spielberg. Cut to Lil Rel.
Speaking of that, I didn't even know that Steven Soderbergh was involved until
I didn't
saw
either.
Melissa tweet.
Yeah, me too.
Well, once you figure that out, it made more sense. Like it was like, oh, that's why it's weird. Like they're like tiny things.
But I want to ask y'all this, I guess, and it didn't turn into a controversy, and it didn't need to. A lot of people were, upset and surprised. But have y'all seen The Father?
I did.
I haven't seen The Father or Ma Rainey.
Damn.
Oh man. But no, The Father is it was one of the few early screenings that I got. Man, and no, Randy's not a flex, but but no, I watched it.
It hurts to flex.
And in my opinion, I wasn't disappointed.
He's
not
so
at all.
good. It's really good.
And yeah, it's a fantastic. I'll never probably watch the movie again. It's very emotionally taxing.
I'm gonna buy it like here in a couple weeks, but yeah, that's the same thing. Like I can't imagine myself just like kicking back. Like I can't wait to watch The Father.
Right, it's not a popcorn. Like, let's get popcorn. Watch Passion of the Christ.
I'll show it to
If
somebody.
if he didn't have any father beans and a nice Chianti, I don't give a fuck.
He had father beans.
Yes.
I feel like most people, which is good. Most people weren't mad at like Anthony Hopkins. They weren't mad that he won,
right?
As much as like they were mad that Chadwick lost. Okay, like that's always going to be a thing no matter what.
Right?
Yeah.
But that they set it up the way they did. Clearly, they set it up for Best Actor to be last because it was going to be this thing. And it's like, maybe we should let the showrunner in on who the winners are from here on out.
Yo,
And speaking of which, did y'all think I thought I missed the awards for Best Actor.
Yeah.
I was like, whoa, what happened?
For like a second, I was like, wait, why are they doing Best Director like in the middle of the show?
Hey,
Like, that just doesn't make sense. Like, it's like a concert lineup. That's how I think of it. Like when you see like a concert flyer, it's like Best Picture, Director, Actor, Actress, and then everything else is like the rest of the bands. It's like you got to save those for last. Like those are the big. I don't know.
But you know what? Speaking of something, Randy said he didn't see Ma Rainey's, and somebody I spoke to, I can't take credit for this. They had an interesting theory about why Anthony Hopkins might have won over Chadwick. Is so y'all know, I'm sure y'all know the Oscars a couple of years ago, for like a few years in a row, it was Oscar is so white.
Yes.
And
I'm familiar.
And then y'all remember the subsequent years, they start opening up, inviting more people into the Academy, trying to diversify it. And when they did that, they opened it up like worldwide, like internationally, to have voters in. And this brings up another issue with predominant black movies not getting promoted overseas. Even if they're streaming, some countries don't even carry this movie, even though it's a Netflix original movies. A lot of Netflix, like in France, didn't have Ma Rainey's until closer to the Oscars. Weird, ain't it?
Yeah.
No.
And
makes sense.
Yeah, and The Father was more widely available.
Yeah, Judas and the Black Messiah probably wasn't playing overseas.
Yeah.
Like. It wouldn't have, like, you know, and people don't even have HBO Max yet. So, like, yeah, any movie like that isn't there. But, yeah, that was weird.
But, yeah, it's still a lot of work to do.
Yeah, like, I kind of called that. Like, I was like, well, just opening the floodgate for more people to come in, like, it's not going to, like, fix it. And then when you read, like, every year there's, like,
I know where you're going. I'm getting to that.
Academy voters that don't even watch the movies.
Yeah.
Or at least not all of them.
Yeah, that's
it's
retarded.
Like, you know, they
people admit it.
An actor, and they can't watch all of them. They don't have time, but like they're supposed to vote for everything.
Right, and people sit back and they'll judge a movie based on, like, what's the movie? Jennifer Lopez and
Geely.
Geely. No, the movie. I'm sorry. There's the Exotic Dancer movie.
Hustlers.
Oh yeah, Hustlers. So a lot of people admitted they didn't watch that movie because, quote, I'm not watching a stripper movie.
Yeah.
And
I'm not admitting I watched a stripper movie.
Jennifer Lopez, I think that's one of the bigger snubs.
It was a snub, yeah, outright. It was like,
they're not admitting they watch a stripper movie. They done been had showgirls and striptease on loops for 25 years.
But yeah, it's crazy. And the thing I was getting at is that was the 93rd Academy Awards, right? Yeah. Almost 100 years this thing has been around, and look at these ridiculous firsts. First time an Asian has been nominated for Best Actor. First time a Muslim has been nominated for Best Actor. First all-black producing team. 93 years in.
Yeah, sad.
Was it the first black person to win
makeup?
Was it makeup?
Yeah.
Like, how was that even? Like, that's just so weird. How? Like, what?
Yeah. But yeah, it's a lot of work to be done.
Think of it, but it's like, wait, how? In 100 years, 93.
Yeah. And with everybody just knew. I'm curious. I think Trent Reznor and Atticus Ross are the type of the guys like, okay, they're not the public speaking type, then they just let John Batiste.
Yeah, I'm about to say, Buddy took that whole speech.
Yeah.
Like, okay, 12 notes. Okay, let Trent speak.
He's just like, thank you.
Yeah.
And thank you all so much.
Yeah, you could just, but even John Batiste is only the third ever composer to win that award.
As soon as he stopped talking, I wanted to watch Soul.
Yeah, it's just that's amazing the work they did on that though. Nobody else could have won that. Should have won that.
No.
Just the contrast between what the real world, the afterworld, jazz, and that's just. But anyway,
yeah.
Right.
I mean, the winners all kind of went where I thought they would go, except for Anthony Hopkins. I was like, that was weird. And like, I thought Viola Davis might win Best Actress. She didn't. Yeah, just weird. Just weird. Very odd. Not the worst. Award show.
Okay, enough awards talk, snobs. I don't even know where I want to start. I guess the Shang-Chi trailer. Nigga, what you think of that Shang-Chi trailer and the Legend of the Ten Rings?
I loved it. I watched it twice. Like, when I first watched it, it was almost like there was so much happening that I couldn't really comprehend what I was saying. I was just like, oh yeah, action. Then I like watched it again. Or like I read it was right when the trailer dropped. It was like Entertainment Weekly dropped their like article about it with like pictures and stuff. And I kind of read through that and watched it again and like zeroed in on what was happening. It's gonna be so good. Like, it looks great. I wish we'd have gotten it earlier.
I don't know where I read it, but I read somewhere that it might take place during the blip. I think that's fire. That's fucking. Look at Nick's face.
That'd be cool.
That's so cool, right?
I don't know. I don't even know why. Like, why is that cool? That's not that cool. But like,
because like
you said, I'm like, yes. Why? Why do I care?
Because I think of Endgame and I think of just like the time jump and how everything got so gloomy. But just to see like what's going on with some group of people, a new hero during that time.
Yeah.
So it's
like,
technically a prequel because of
yeah, it sounds amazing.
Yeah.
I also read in their little thing, they said it's pronounced like song, not sang.
Yeah.
Is it? Are we gonna call it Shang-Chi?
Well, we are because
yeah, I'm ignorant white American, so until I hear different, I'm saying Shang.
I'm gonna put out my like when I go see Shang-Chi.
Because it's just like Ra's al Ghul and Rage al Ghul.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
They changed that for the
Gal
Nobody
Gadot.
says that.
Gal Gadot.
Yeah.
I don't even know which one's right.
I know. I saw I looked up the director for Shang-Chi. I'm like, where have I seen that name? I saw it recently.
Just Mercy.
Just Mercy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But now I got a second. Nick.
Glass Castle.
The movie looks like visually, cinematography wise, like fantastic. And I used the comparison, even though I didn't hate the movie, but go back and look at the Captain Marvel movie and how bland. Like, for example, the train fight.
Right.
Compared to the bus fight in the trailer of Shang-Chi. I'm like, man, this movie just looks... Ugh.
And like, dude is so active on Twitter. He was like, if you guys want to do that split quick kick, you better stretch or some shit.
Yeah. And that was just awesome. Yeah, like Nick said, it's I'm excited to see it and what they're gonna do with it.
Do we think they'll reference Iron Man 3?
I was just about to say that a lot of people have come up on Twitter giving Iron Man 3, because with Iron Man 3, I think that's the one movie in the MCU that you either hate it or you love it. There's no gray area with that.
I think we've been through this before. We're talking about trilogies or something. Iron Man 3 is not a bad movie, but that twist is beyond horrible. Nick,
people just don't like
nothing from Nick.
The twist. But you know what? I love the twist. I think it's amazing. No, check this out. I've said it before. Check it out. What big budget movie have you seen that was supposed to have a villain and they show the villain all over the trailer? Because of the twist, they hide the real villain and their powers.
the
You know what I
character
mean?
that Guy Pearce just played this weekend.
I mean, we know somehow he was going to be because he's in the movie.
Yeah.
But we didn't know what their powers were going to be, and a lot of people aren't familiar with the Extremis comic book storyline. I think that was cool. It's kind of like a give and take thing. They gave up the Mandarin, and I like the twist.
I think the twist works great in service of the movie.
Yeah.
And nothing else. Like if you went in, like my dad loves Marvel movies as much as I do, but like it stops there. He doesn't know like the lore.
The lore, yeah. As far as the lore.
So we went into Iron Man 3. He loved that shit. Like he was like, "Wow, what an explosive twist!" And I was like, "What a like something like that." So like I think it's like Eric said, they made kind of the sacrifice. They were like a big scale of the people that are going to go see this are not sitting and reading about 10 rings. They just want something to like pull the rug out from under.
This is where I need Javon, man. 'Cause we're like mind melted over this twist.
Yeah.
Like,
but did y'all see the one shot?
No.
Ben Kingsley.
Although I haven't watched it in a long time, but I did watch it.
Is it on one of the Blu-rays?
Also,
it's on like the Blu-ray for the Dark World, isn't it?
It's on the 4. Yeah. Which they stopped doing. They should put those on. Are those on Disney Plus?
No, they're not. You should put them on there. They're pretty good.
Put them on there. I don't know why. They're probably inconsequential.
Right. Forgot about them.
But that's the one that sticks out of my head. Like there's the one with what's his name, Satwell.
And there's one with Coulson,
Shield guy.
Yeah, on his way to the hammer.
On the way to Thor's hammer.
Yeah.
And there's one with the
they found the weapon.
On the gun.
Yeah.
But that's the one that sticks out of my head. It's what's his name from Batman versus Superman.
Jasper
prison with Ben Kingsley, and he's got the rings tattoo on his arm.
Yeah. You mean Trevor? My name's Trevor.
Yeah.
Look at Reggie. Like, come on, man. That's
bro, it's Iron Man 3. It's like December. What came out December 2012?
Django.
Maybe it was Django. Maybe it was something like a week or two earlier. And the trailer starts. Tony's laying in the snow. He's giving Pepper that voicemail. I made a lot of mistakes. Boom, boom, boom. My wife is like panicking. Like, no, Iron Man's gonna die. Like
you're like, babe, that's never gonna happen.
Yeah, I tried telling her.
Babe, don't be dumb.
But like me and my dog Javon, like we're of the same mind. Iron Man 3 up to that point is the best MCU movie of all time, better than the Avengers. And that twist just flushes the huge turd down the toilet.
No.
All day.
Sorry, uncut gems. I disagree.
And it's like
it's like better than Iron Man 2.
No.
Yeah, definitely.
No.
As is. I think like twist and all, I still think it's better than Iron Man.
No, y'all are not gonna besmirch the good Favreau name.
What I'm saying about just loving that twist really takes either you love the twist or you hate it. There's no gray area.
But no, it's also like I hate Tony like ghost riding the suits. Like that's like the dopest sequence in the whole movie.
Yeah,
saving.
People didn't like that he wasn't actually in the suit for the plane.
Yeah, because I think like I had a shocked look on my face when I'm in the IMAX and I see the suit get hit by the car. It's just
but
like,
that's
what
one
the
of the
fuck?
better moments in the movie. That was
and he's not even in it. And he's not even in it. It's just like you got duped.
It's kind of fun.
But I want
get away with that pretty quick.
I want the real Mandarin in Shang-Chi to completely denounce Aldrich Killian or Trevor Slattery, whoever was the Mandarin. That's all I want.
Do you think, like, in that little one shot, it's, if I'm recalling correctly, it's like he goes up to him and he says, my boss wants to talk to you or something like that. He's very mad. Do we think, like, the beginning of Shang-Chi is going to be Ben Kingsley, like, presented to the real Mandarin?
Oh,
that would be awesome.
That'd be amazing. If they've kept Ben Kingsley under wraps this whole time for being in Shang-Chi, and he like kills him on the spot or something.
That's. Cool. I think that'll probably get an applause if we go back.
It's not like people wouldn't understand the reference.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this, yeah. But now, when does it come out?
Labor Day weekend.
Remember,
What if he even referenced like the whole kidnapping Tony Stark? Like, yeah, like I got with Obadiah Stane. I set that up.
Yeah.
I'm the reason for all the Avengers, bitches.
That's obviously where they were. You could tell where they were going.
Well,
but they had to rush the. But no, Shang-Chi. Yes. Definitely can't wait. That's on the top of the list.
I did there was like some Twitter poll or something like a few months ago, and they were like, every superhero movie coming out, like rank how excited you are, and like
that was
I
like
put
a week ago.
Shang-Chi like kind of towards the bottom because like I hadn't seen any footage or anything.
Right.
Like I don't know like how they're gonna pull it off. So all I've got is just like it's coming. So I put it kind of towards the bottom. Now that I've seen the trailer, it's like
shot up.
Yeah,
it's like boom. Like I said, that's all I needed was some footage, something, and I'm more excited for it than I am like Morbius and probably even like the Suicide Squad.
But speaking of that, because I'm sure y'all have seen on social media, you are on it, just like pictures of Miss Marvel and all that.
Yeah.
Is that this year?
These productions need to hire the security team. What's that?
Is Miss Marvel this year?
Oh no, I thought you said something. Is it?
I don't know anymore.
Yeah, I don't think they announced.
Captain Marvel 2's next November.
Wow.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Captain Marvel 2 is next November, but the Miss Marvel show, it might be end of this year.
But they just start filming that, right? And
yeah,
look at the Miss Marvel, the most recent Spider-Man is filming, the Thor 3. All these movies except for one has had leaked footage, leaked pictures, behind the scenes pictures, and they need to get the security team for Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness because we haven't seen one single thing.
Well, there's a picture of him walking around without a beard,
and I didn't even see that.
Because I
didn't see that either.
Because I always imagined that his beard was fake anyway. But
yeah,
he's walking around with a new look. So I was like, what?
But most of these behind the scenes footage, they usually blow up and go viral. But it's like nothing.
It's strange with that. It's Benedict Cumberbatch walking around like in a hoodie.
Yeah, it's
weird. And they're like, he's got a new look.
Yeah, but all these other ones, we see them, the people in costume,
Yeah.
It's like
other pictures are like, those are like stock photo. I mean, somebody got a perfect shot of that girl dressed like Miss Marvel. Yeah. She looks great.
It's like from different angles.
She looks phenomenal. It's your great pictures. But like somebody went and got like Jake Gyllenhaal from Nightcrawler was out there like hanging.
Oh man. But yeah, that's
Also,
what we have next Marvel wise.
I think we can probably finish up this first hour just reacting to the Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Yes.
First Friday just went past without.
I know. I shed a tear.
I watched the making of thing just because I was going through like withdrawal. I was like, all right, yeah, watch something. That was good too. It was like an hour long.
Oh yeah, and I got a video for y'all to watch since that'll hold you over. But the show itself,
I loved it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It was great. I wish it was more than 6 episodes, although it didn't need to be.
No, they did everything that they wanted to.
I just wish it was.
I saw what probably and check it if you haven't watched Falcon and the Winter Soldier yet. If you watching on a video, if you listening, we were gonna spoil some shit because I have no filter. So turn it off. Come back when you watch the show. I saw something that's probably a fan theory, but. Do y'all think Sharon might be a Skrull?
That's a hell of a fan theory. But
like the whole time?
The whole time, like she's tiptoeing this good guy, bad guy line.
Yeah.
Maybe like Secret Invasion type shit?
I'd say maybe. They're going to have to do some big stuff to necessitate a Secret Invasion show.
You know something? I want to ask y'all this. I was talking on one of the other 88 podcasts that I appear on, and they were asking me, like, why is Sharon on the lam anyway? And I was saying, while it's not specifically explained, she did help out Team Cap in Civil War, which
Yeah.
automatically would make her a criminal.
Yeah.
It was explained, like she said.
Yeah,
that's what I said.
If
Yeah.
you've watched the movies, then you know.
Yeah, and I'm like, man, it didn't hold your hand across the street, but they explained it.
Yeah.
It doesn't really make sense that she wouldn't have been invited with Captain America and like Black Widow and Falcon, where they were like off on their little shit. Like it's kind of weird that she wouldn't have been invited along with them.
But then again, how they played, it seemed like she just probably made the choice not to go with them.
Yeah, like
and she put her thing together.
I've seen I follow a couple like scooper like news scoop accounts, and like there's like people out there trying to say that Marvel's like retconning that she didn't disappear in the blip. Like every face that was shown when they're at the complex, that's people that got snapped away. I don't think that they ever said these are people that we can't find, so we assume that they're gone. But
then again, Scott was on there.
Scott?
Yeah, his name was on the shit.
Ant-Man?
Yeah, and his name was so they could just, because they couldn't find him. But no, go ahead.
I relinquish hosting duties because now everything I said makes no sense. Aha! So yeah, okay, so yeah, maybe I guess all the faces in game are of people that couldn't be found. And she was one of those faces.
Yeah,
so
assumed to be blipped, yeah.
Yeah. So maybe she was just underground, and that's how all the power broker shit comes about.
Right.
It's
an easy retcon.
Yeah.
If I had to pick something about the show that I did not love, was that. Like I don't love. I wouldn't even call her like an evil character, but she's kind of like working with like ulterior motives now.
Yeah.
I don't love that. Just because, like, that's Peggy's niece.
Yeah.
It's not even just like, oh, she's a good guy. It's like, that's Peggy's niece. Like, that's supposed to be...
She's like Lady Captain America in law.
Yeah, she's supposed to be this... Which, now, if they continue with her character, and I hope they do, she's on another TV show right now, so she's probably busy. Then they could play around with that more, and I hope they do. Because that's an interesting thing. But just to be on this for, she was on about half the series, I guess.
Yeah.
For it to be like, she's actually evil. I was like,
Yeah. If they, like, that too. Did Disney, like, once the show was over last weekend, did Kevin Feige, did Marvel ever come out and confirm this fourth Captain America movie?
Yeah, because that news just came out the same day.
Or was it the writer of Falcon and Winter Soldier?
Yeah.
No clue.
I think it was either the showrunner. Yeah, I heard Mackie heard the news from a fan at the grocery.
Yeah, he was like, "Oh, that would be cool."
Yeah,
that would be cool. Like, are you doing it or not?
So I'm not.
But even if they were, check it out. How far down the line would that come? Look at the,
I would assume 2023, 2024.
Yeah, I say 24 at the earliest.
That's assuming they put it after everything they've announced, which is like a trillion things. In December, they announced a zillion things.
That's true.
Most of them are on Disney Plus, though. So it's like all the stuff it's still all the stuff they announced. Like, we're getting so much of that this year that we're not even thinking about. It's like Miss Marvel might come out this year. Secret Invasion, they're already casting for it. So, like, that's going to come out sooner rather than later.
Yeah, I think Hawkeye's this year.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, it's all...
Yeah.
So... It'll be done in 2 years.
Where I was going, though, with Sharon and even Julia Louis-Dreyfus and U.S. Agent and all of that shit, if they do this fourth Captain America movie, and that's a real thing, and I think I told y'all in the group chat, the villain has to either be they're trying to set up Thunderbolts, or it's whoever Sharon keeps talking to on the phone who they never really revealed who it was.
Right.
There's a billion things they could do.
Yeah.
But it's like you read up about the U.S. agents. spoiler alert,
Yeah.
U.S. agents in the show. With what they've already done with Vision on WandaVision, giving us the white Vision, and then we've already got Hawkeye coming. They could make, like, they were their own little Avengers at one point in the comics.
They've announced a spinoff from Hawkeye already.
Yeah. Like, clearly that's what they're building towards, and that's great. But it's like they haven't even, like, announced it. Like, they weren't, like, it's not like, and here comes, like, next Avengers or whatever the fuck they would call it. Like, they've already announced all this stuff, so it's thinking, like, well, when will they even have time to do that? But it's still, like, everything comes out, it's like, oh, there's 1,000 things they could do with that now.
Mm-hmm.
It's like they could easily just make a second season of Falcon and the Winter Soldier with what we got. It's like, dude, they could just keep going, but I would rather see them do it in movies.
I'd be down for this, like, cool little buddy cop show every year or two.
Yeah, it's on the making of thing. The director, or he was one of the directors. I don't know. I don't know if they have multiple directors, but he was saying, he was like, there's like a scale that you want to go to. He was like, the Defiant ones, 48 Hours, Lethal Weapon. He's like, and then you've got Rush Hour and like Ride Along. He said we were aiming for like Lethal Weapon. And I was like, they did. That's what they did, because it was like funny.
Yeah.
It wasn't a comedy.
And speaking of which, I want to address what I think is a very unfair and weak criticism. A lot of memes have been made about this, and some people are just straight serious about it. And it's about Bucky. And the thing is, like, oh, Bucky was soft and weak, and he wasn't as savage as he was as the Winter Soldier. Like,
I think he was human.
Shit. He was a murderous zombie assassin.
Yeah, I think he was
human.
Is
literally him trying to right his wrongs from that. I'm like, y'all just ignore that. Y'all just want him to be.
Yeah, I love how they brought it back around to the dude he was hanging out with at the beginning in the first episode at the very end.
It's called character development, people. It's called a character arc.
Yeah.
Y'all want him to be this one thing, and then y'all complain about that because his character doesn't move or evolve. But
that's a Sigmund flex.
Before he was the Winter Soldier, he was fighting Nazis and like off the trains and shit, like software. Like it's like that's
that. I'm like, soft. He's different, yes.
Yeah,
but not soft.
Watching, like, you know.
Hey, he sees Sam's sister though. He trying to holla holla holla. He walk up on the bayou. He trying to holla holla holla.
And yeah, it's just a whole bunch of crazy, and criticism. Like one guy on Twitter, one of these blue check marks, man. I don't even think if I had a choice. And he was talking about the episode when the Dora Milaje came in, and they took literally disarmed Bucky.
Literally, that was the coolest part in the whole show. And
they were like, how dare they build in a safeguard to Bucky's arm? That means they have no trust for him. And like, how dare they? One, it's their damn technology.
Fuck
2,
that guy.
They didn't have to take his ass in. 3, it's a safeguard because he's a former damn zombie assassin.
4, the Dora Milaje have jurisdiction wherever the Dora Milaje stand.
He's the only white guy on the country. Like, of course they were gonna take the.
And dude was serious too. Like, how dare they?
Yeah. The look on his face was like perfect. If there was like one perfect shot on the whole show.
Yeah.
Like, he didn't look that mad. He was just like, it was just like a perfect. Are you shitting me?
That whole sequence was. Yeah. That whole sequence was beautiful because it was John Walker, Captain America, in another country trying to tell somebody else they didn't have jurisdiction. And then it was like, I want to think of like Snoop Dogg in Starsky and Hutch, where they was talking about we govern ourselves, and that's what Wakandans and the Dora Milaje do. And they was like, bitch, we run shit wherever we at. And that whole fight, and then Zemo slithered away, like that whole shit was dope.
And how about this? I think a good spot for little transition into John Walker when he's like, they weren't even super soldiers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They whooped your ass.
Yeah.
But John Walker, so first of all, John Walker,
we gonna go into a rant.
So I think this is a good and a bad thing. People were like literally hating Wyatt Russell.
Yeah, it's fucking stupid.
Dude was perfect in that role.
Yes.
And okay, I understand if y'all don't like John Walker, the fictional character.
That's exactly what the show wanted you to do.
Yes.
Like
Wyatt Russell was an actor playing fictional character.
Right.
Fictional character.
It's like, bro, like, do y'all hate James Earl Jones for playing Darth Vader?
Yeah, I mean, come on, y'all.
Do y'all hate?
But yeah,
any actor that's ever played any villain because they went against your fucking fandom?
Yeah, but what do y'all think about I guess John Walker's arc in the show and just him?
I wanted him to be like more like aggressively savage in the finale. But yeah. I'm not mad at what they did because I think his new suit, but it's black. It's the same suit, but it's black. Will set up a stronger villain turn.
Yeah.
And he's trying to play it coy.
4, that's really.
Yeah. He's trying to play it coy in these interviews, talking about they told me this was gonna be one and done. Bitch, you know you coming back.
Okay. Let's get you in.
You know you in the Marvel family now.
It's kind of hard. Yeah, it's kind of hard with this show. It's like the Sharon Carter thing. Yeah. It's hard to be like, no, I didn't love that. Because I feel like we'd only be in 6 episodes, and they, like, opened up so much possibility that there's no way they're not going to do something more with him later. So I'm just like, for this show, as long as they address it later, it was fine. I was kind of thinking, like, oh, he killed the dude in the street. Then Julia Louis-Dreyfus walks up on him, and he's, like, building his own shield. I'm thinking, oh, this is going to be... He's either going to be, like, evil Captain... or, like, evil, crazy Captain America, or he's going to just keep trying to be Captain America, like, really hard, and everybody's going to be like, go home.
Why did I see a meme that said his shield was Justice League and Cap's shield was the Snyder Cut?
Tilted up.
Yeah.
That's kind of what I thought. I was like, he's going to show up and fuck something up. Like, he's just going to be like, oh, don't worry, everyone, I'm here. And everyone's going to be like, go home. Like, who are you? And it wasn't really that. It was him, like, kind of like, how can I help? And, like, he helped. He pulled the up, which was cool. If I would have done it, if I had written it, I probably would have had him, like, juggling with that more towards the end, like, oh, you guys really are like the real deal. Like, fuck me. Like,
yeah, no, I would have. I would have just had this like jealousy, like I'm Captain America, and like have his resentment towards Falcon and Bucky, and
one or the other.
Yeah,
like, that's how either him being like, fuck yeah, like Ja Rule and Fast and Furious, like, oh, fuck y'all then, like I'm going home,
Monica,
or him realize like, I am out of my league. Like, but at the end, it was just Sam giving that speech. Like, he's like, I'm a black man holding the stars and stripes. And you just see John Walker and Bucky, like, I don't know if that was perfect. John Walker being like, oh, that's right. Yeah. I'm going to go home. Then he came out, like, with the new suit. So they have to do something with that.
Yeah. And so that part, with her, with Allegra Valentina D. Fontaine, 20-some-odd names and shit. The only reason I think that inevitably they're building toward Thunderbolts is just because she mentioned Zemo escaping the raft.
Yeah. And she's not presented as a villain.
Not yet.
I need to read on her history, although I know a little this and that. She's not presented as a villain. She's presented as... And they even said in the making of thing, it's kind of like a shady Nick Fury, shadier Nick Fury, like a black market Nick Fury. So I was like, oh yeah, I got that vibe up immediately.
Yeah,
like it was like, that's exactly who she is. So hopefully we see more of her as well. I'm thinking we have read that she was supposed to make her debut elsewhere.
Oh yeah, we're definitely gonna see her in July.
Which I wish somebody would have shut the fuck up about that. Like, that would have been way cooler to go to that movie finally after over a year, thinking like, wow, finally. And then like her coming out, I would have lost my mind. I would have, holy shit, oh my god, holy shit, oh my god. Even after the, even if she was supposed to debut in there, and like her debut in Falcon and Winter Soldier was great.
Yeah.
Like it didn't need some weird introduction. Like she came out and did it. Like it was fun.
Well,
So.
I mean, like that again. Thunderbolts. Fucking Ross is in Black Widow.
He is. I saw a fake thing, or I don't know if it was like a deleted scene or something that suggested that he was going to be on Falcon and the Winter Soldier, and he never was.
Yeah, no. I guess
it wouldn't have made sense.
The showrunner wanted Spider-Man, and Kevin Feige shot that shit down.
Yeah.
No, that makes
what
no
do
sense.
you well, I guess the first name himself, well, at the end now of Captain America and Winter Soldier, but
his name is John Walker.
Oh no.
I think we all heard going in that it was gonna be like the government trying to dictate that Steve Rogers couldn't pick the next Captain America and like stripping him of the shield. But I love that he gave it up, and it fucks up Bucky emotionally, and he has to go on this journey, and with the Isaiah Bradley shit to like really discover that he wants it. Like, I love what they did better than what I heard it was gonna be.
Yeah, and it was like he trusted the government to do the right thing with giving him, and yeah, it's a lot of things that they brought up and knocked down in the episode. But yeah, it's but it was pretty cool when he actually became Captain America, and the stuff they had him doing, like with the helicopter and the
that was fire.
Yeah,
texting an old girl to grab the sticks.
Yeah, that was great. That was a total Iron Man move.
Yeah.
That was 100% something Iron Man would have done in any of the movies, and everybody would have been like, God, look at Tony. Look at But like, what was it, that review I sent, the Entertainment Weekly review or something, where they were just like, it just so happened that there was a woman on the helicopter that could fly. And it was like, yeah.
But
y'all don't know how common pilots are in the military.
That's that weird. I didn't think anything of that. Like, I was like, oh, yeah, she probably was in the military.
What stupid fucking journalist, blue check mark journalist, didn't pay attention to him having Red Wing scan all the fucking passengers and let us know if there's any pilots in there.
What is this Iron Man move? Iron Man would have been like, hey, I hear you can fly a helicopter.
Yeah.
100%. Tony Stark would have done that. It would have been like, oh, look at God.
Yeah, but no, it's pretty cool how they utilized the shield with the wings. And and speaking of the Julia Louis-Dreyfus character, she said something about the shield, like it's kind of a gray area. The government really doesn't own it.
It's true.
Which is pretty cool. If anything, I guess we know who owns it.
Whoever holds it owns it. Motherfucker, I don't know.
Where it comes from.
Wakanda.
Andy Serkis owns that shit.
Yeah.
Oh man, but yeah, it's hell of a show. But let me ask y'all this: which one would y'all rather have, another season or a movie?
You always want to say a movie, but I don't really care. I mean, like it doesn't. Disney Plus, that's their whole shtick. They're really trying to blur the line. Like, I feel like there's like this subconscious thing. Like when you hear it's a TV show, you're like, oh, so it's like not quite a movie. It's like, that's true, but it's like this story worked so much better as a TV, in my opinion. Right. Like as a TV show. Had it been a movie, it would have felt less urgent, I think, to like the average moviegoer. They were like, do I care?
But then please believe though.
What was a friend of mine? She really likes going to. We go see Marvel movies. Like if she can go, she goes and tries to see them. But like we were sitting, I forget which one or what we saw, but she was saying like she didn't watch Ant-Man and the Wasp. She was like, I'll get to it when it comes on Netflix or whatever, like maybe eventually.
You need a new friend.
I don't love Paul Rudd. Like I just don't care about Ant-Man. I was like, but I was like, to me, it was just like, wait, that's the next chapter. It's like skipping the chapter in the book because you don't like.
Yeah.
It's like, I want to get to this part. It's like, wait, no. You gotta watch that after this. You have to see where it goes. So like to me, I feel like people would have skipped WandaVision the movie, or like Falcon and the Winter Soldier the movie. Like they would have been like, it's not Spider-Man. I'll wait for Spider-Man or whatever, Guardians of the Galaxy 3. But like they worked great. It's like the characters that were not like marquee names in the movies, but like had a lot to say.
I can't wait for those people on Twitter, because Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness is gonna come out, and it's just, how did Wanda unlock all this badassery?
Yeah, to be like,
you should watch WandaVision.
But you know what's cool about that? The TV show to the movie thing with the Marvel Studios is, look how they treat the TV shows. Still to this day, it's not real common for a television show to be filmed in true widescreen.
True.
You know what I'm saying? And WandaVision, obviously, the in the town, the map. But during the main scenes on the outside, you know, you see how they switch to a cinematic ratio, and yeah, it's pretty cool. But it's starting to become a little more common, but it's not as common as you would see. And yeah, you can just plug them right in, and it wouldn't look any different. They look cinematic, even though they're TV shows. Is what I'm trying to say.
And man, like, also it's like if you can't be a casual Marvel fan, man, if you're a fan of the MCU, you have to be all in theatrically and Disney Plus, because guaranteed, if Moon Knight comes out and Oscar Isaac kills it as Moon Knight, rest assured he's gonna be in Avengers 5.
Yes,
I would think. That's in my head. I don't know. It's like less of a gamble than it was like 10 years ago. Like 10 years ago, they never would have. That's why they, even like, you know, Daredevil and Luke Cage and all that, like, they don't even, they're like, oh yeah, it's part of the universe, but it's like not. Like if they didn't exist, you would not know they existed. Like it was like, nothing they do.
Right.
Yeah.
And vice versa.
That only works one way. You know?
Yeah.
See, that's why
One
like
side.
I want to know the details between like ABC Studios, the Marvel Television department, and what Kevin Feige's doing, because Coulson, the Joss we don't mention, was all in fucking, even Samuel L. Jackson, Kobe Smulders, Jamie Alexander were on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., but then they kind of like retcon that shit like it wasn't canon.
Yeah.
Basically, like I said, but the one-way statement is these movies affect the TV shows, but the TV shows don't mean anything to the movies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's simple as that.
But now, like,
Netflix or ABC.
Kevin Feige pulling the comic actors and Disney Plus and putting them in their own shit. Every show that's on Disney Plus is canon now.
Yeah, it's
like,
canon.
We know this.
Yeah, like that's done. Like that can no longer be the case. Like whatever Wanda does from here on out is a big deal.
Matters.
It's like in-game affected everything that is ever going to happen. Like we're still going to be referencing that years down the line. It's going to be like, oh yeah, well when I came back I had to do this and this, and then my wife came back and we had to do this. Like it's always going to be a thing.
Yeah.
So
it affected people, in WandaVision and Falcon and Winter Soldier.
For sure.
Like immediately they put out a Spider-Man movie that was just about that.
Like,
It gave it the name too, the blip.
It was about fixing what, you know. So
I swear, yeah. Like if She-Hulk comes around and Tatiana Maslany, they like, there was a set leak from that show too.
Yeah. And
if they do this A-Force movie, like she's gonna be in there. If A-Force ends up being like a show, I wonder if Brie Larson would be like yeah, I'll do an 8-10 episode series.
Right.
All women Avengers.
yeah, it's like a different thing. than it used to be. Because like 5 years ago, if they'd have been like, "Well, hey, you want to do a TV show?" They'd have been like, "No."
Yeah.
Now, that sounds
But-
kind of sick.
Isn't it
and it's
trippy
like
though?
the Hawk, like if they even now if they put out a Hawkeye movie, no one would be excited for that. But I'm like very excited for the show. I was like, oh, that's a cool way to
Yeah.
put a bow on this shit and tie it together.
Yeah,
don't
yeah.
know.
I assume Renner's done after the show.
Yeah, somebody recognized that over at Disney. Some genius was like, this is a way we can keep doing it and wrap up give these characters, like Bucky is one of the most interesting characters in the whole MCU. Like when you really get down to it, like his whole thing, it's like, oh, you could play with that forever. But he's just not a marquee.
Yeah.
Right. He's not an Iron Man. He's not a Thor. He's not a Captain America. It's like giving him the platform to do it in a TV show. That's like genius. It's like if you miss it, it's not necessarily the most consequential thing, but it's like if you don't miss it, you're getting it's rich characters, rich. So I don't know. I don't know anything.
So there's something
Let me
I wanted to ask y'all about and this is gonna take us away from the Marvel, but still, it's gonna be related to comics.
go for it.
If you're done, I don't know if Randy had something else to say.
I was
about
gonna
Marvel.
break it off. We still got a few minutes, but I was gonna cap off the first part of the show.
Cool. So when we come back, I'll get to that.
All right. Stay tuned.
After these messages.
All right, Eric, what you got?
Ignore that. So
It's on wax. We ain't ignoring shit.
so now this we talk about Marvel Studios, right? And all of the stuff they got stacked up and planned and ready to go and working on right now. And bringing me to the pettiness and unorganization of Warner Brothers. What's that, Nick?
I've not heard about this prior to this one.
Terrible. And there was something that happened this past week that's just obvious ego and pettiness with the they re-released the Justice League trailer in 4K. They're not advertising the disc. They just decided to release this during the Zack Snyder Justice League era.
Well, how about this?
And
yeah, nobody
it's just
wants
terrible. Like all this stuff that's going on. Like, man, how powerful can a reckless ego be when you have the opportunity to make money on top of money, and you just want to just be petty? You got the David Ayer cut of Suicide Squad that will be successful, and you got the thing that happened. There's this other. Oh man, we've been saying this word a lot. So this blue check mark.
Hey man, that's ego.
He tweeted something. He tweeted Mortal Kombat broke records when it was released. Godzilla vs. Kong broke records. Wonder Woman broke records. And at the bottom, he put sorry Snyder cut. And an official HBO Max account retweeted it.
Mm-hmm.
And it since unretweeted it. But, you know, come on, what the hell? And I think one of you said in the chat, yeah, each one of those movies you named are going to break records until the next one breaks the record.
That was me.
Which is going to be the next week.
That was me.
Yeah.
I can't wait for the doctored up. I can't wait for the doctored up charts that show that those who wish me dead got watched more than fucking the Snyder cut and Wonder Woman and all that shit.
Yeah.
So I think this was a couple of days ago. Oh, what's that, Nick?
Like, what is the record? It's like Wonder Woman broke the record. It's like HBO Max has been out for like a couple months. What's the record?
Yeah.
What is the record? It's like it did a little better than that.
Wonder Woman was their first movie that did the theatrical streaming thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course, people at home during a pandemic.
Yeah.
Yeah, we we're home.
So, like you said, these doctored up numbers, people trying to say Snyder Cut was not a success, which is just BS. And Screen Rant actually yesterday was May 1st. They released they said the viewership for Zack Snyder's Justice League has nearly doubled since its opening weekend. And with new data showing the Snyder Cut has been viewed more than 3.7 million households.
That sounds like a win.
Wasn't a success. Why'd they put the black and white version on there?
Yeah, and it's just terrible, like, man. And you could tell the pushback in that interview with whoever the hell she was that they put her out there, like, oh, we don't care about, basically saying, don't give a shit about fans. It's just like, wow, it's just, like, nuts.
Not to go on a DC rant again on the Marvel episode, but it's like I'm always the other, like, kind of sees it, like, in the middle. I'm like, I get why they're, like, apprehensive to do anything now, because they were just so sure that Batman versus Superman, we all were. We were all like, God, who doesn't want to see this? Look at this poster. And it's just them standing there. Nothing special about it. We're like, look at this. Look at art. Look at this art.
Yeah.
And, like, people didn't like it. Like, everyone's acting like, oh, we love Batman vs. Superman. People went and saw that movie in the theater and did not like it. It had a
for the most part,
second weekend drop.
But look what happened this month with the recently with the remastered 4K version of Batman vs. Superman. Sold out.
Yeah. Well, it's because they put out like 5 copies. It was like Willy Wonka. They were like,
that's the thing. Well, Nick, what you getting at? They underestimated the popularity of it, and it's sold out, and it's hard to get now.
Yeah, I didn't get it. I didn't even try.
These fucking idiots! Like the proper full trilogy's been released, so they want like there's a new appreciation for BVS now that the trilogy is really done.
Yeah, you don't think there's a market for this, but like you went and re-released that in 4K again.
Right. Again, and it's sold out.
More people like it.
But yeah, like you said, the apprehension. Yeah, okay, we understand, but y'all have this platform, and you could just with HBO Max, and you could put a little bit of money over here to if you want to. I'm not saying restore the Zack Snyder continuity. That's probably not going to happen, but you can still have him have his own thing if you wanted to, and with risk to reward ratio, man. I mean, like, come on. And the only thing you have to do with the David Ayer thing is just let him go re-edit his movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, just put it out. Like, I don't even think that's going to be on the same level. Like,
no, it's just, but people do want to see it.
Suicide Squad is not going to be like some masterpiece.
No, it's not.
To me, it's like I said, I understand the apprehension after Batman versus Superman, because that was this huge movie. And they shouldn't have been operating on that scale. It was this huge movie that had to make $1 billion to break even. It's like, that's nuts. You shouldn't have done that.
Yeah, you shouldn't put yourself in that position.
So after it didn't crack $1 billion,
hit that
I
number.
get why they're like, oh my God, we got to rethink our approach. But to me, that makes so much more sense than re-editing Justice League the way that they did, like, a couple months before it hit theaters. Like, that's insane. Like, it was nuts. It was like you cut out the whole villain. Like, it's like, to me, that makes it, it's like they should have just put it out as was, or as, I don't know. Put it out and just been like, all right, seeing how it did, I still don't think it would have done that well, if I'm being honest.
But yeah, it's the thing about apprehension, and then just straight panicking.
They panicked, and now they're trying to, it's like, it's Donald Trump shit. It's like, you did this, you made this decision, you said what you said, you did what you did, and it blew up in your face. And instead of being like, I took a gamble, I did what I thought was right, you're just like, still pretending that you did the right, like you made the right choice.
And that's what from a business standpoint, like you said, the apprehension part, but a lot of this stuff is seemingly being very personal and petty.
Yeah, like, it's like, instead of just owning up and being like, look, we did, like, we were scared after this giant thing, so now we fucked up.
Yeah.
And obviously, a lot of this pushback and pettiness is coming from, the decision. We still wouldn't have had the Snyder cut if it wasn't for the parent company at AT&T.
Yeah.
Wow.
I think now Warner Brothers really just hopes that fans like they're just trying to make it to the Flash, and they're just hoping fans like what they retool.
So whatever they do,
they're gonna surgically remove everything Zack Snyder from their universe and hope people just like it going forward.
Right, and
people are liking what they're doing. I am, but it's like operating on a different level. Like it's like Aquaman was great. I thought Shazam was great. Birds of Prey was great, but it's like they're inconsequential to the bigger picture.
Yeah.
Which I guess is whatever. Like, not everything has to be Marvel, but they're clearly copying Marvel.
Yeah.
They are. So I'm
the thing is, they're only copying Marvel with the broad strokes, but not the smaller detail that makes the bigger picture work.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Like, it's the John Walker of doing it. It's like, let's just do it. And it's like,
look what they're still doing.
Like 13 years of meticulous planning.
Yes, and that's what I mean about the broad stroke statement with Warner Brothers. They're still, like for Aquaman, look what happens when you let a filmmaker be a filmmaker.
Yeah.
And how well that came out. But even with Birds of Prey, they changed a major plot point in Birds of Prey.
Did they?
About why he wanted the, what was it, a microchip or something?
Oh, Black Mask?
No, we don't remember. It was
it was a diamond, the jewel or whatever the hell it was that had information in it.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's no way to.
And
I definitely remember that.
They changed the plot point to that. It was really minuscule, and it would have made the character more interesting if they kept it in. And there's still a lot of stuff that hints at what the original plot point was, but they meddling and changed that. And this is what happened with Suicide Squad. They come in and
Birds of Prey is almost as choppy as Suicide Squad. I'm surprised it's as good because it's choppy.
Yeah, but y'all need to get off the post-it note and let the filmmakers make the movie. You hired them for a reason.
Where like screenwriters walk into the Warner Brothers offices and the executives just be like, "Not funny enough. Write more jokes."
No, funny. But Aquaman, like Aquaman is like weird. Like it's like James Wan had a hand in making that movie. He wasn't just a director for Hollywood.
Right, that's what I'm talking about.
Like, that movie's weird at times, and it's real like bizarre, like bright and crazy. Like that was great. I loved Aquaman. I thought Aquaman was awesome. I've liked every movie that's come out since Justice League. But I also see there to like no reason like why they can't keep it going. Like Wonder Woman took place in the 80s. It's like, okay, that's fine. That's fine. That doesn't affect what we're doing over here in 2020. So,
but yeah, this just wanted to point that out. Just like, wow, whatever they do with DC fandom, I got a feeling they're gonna alienate a lot of people. whatever they show, whatever they do,
they're gonna give us a trailer for the Batman, and then nobody else is gonna care about anything else.
Yeah, they're gonna probably
hashtag boycott the fandom this year or something like that. There's gonna be a lot of people. Let's just not tune in.
Yeah.
And then I'm gonna watch the whole thing.
But yeah, it's an opportunity of a lifetime to. I mean, just the fact that they were gonna leave an entire movie, millions of dollars on the shelf. It plays to the ego of. It's amazing to me that, business, your ego is that. Yeah, I can't even complete the sentence. It's crazy to fathom. Like, wow.
Warner Brothers just wants money, though. They don't want a flowing
and that's the crazy part.
narrative.
That's what I mean by that.
They don't want a shared universe. They just want
saw the money potential in the shared universe. They even thought this is going to be great. This is going to work great. They thought, oh fuck, you know what we should do if we wanted to make $1 million is just put Batman in the next one. And somebody was like,
yeah,
we can do it. We have the technology. Like it Yeah, it was like that was an afterthought, which explains why it took 3 years after Man of Steel.
After Man of Steel, right? They should have 2 movies out by then.
It would have been like the next year. Like, oh, you thought that was sick?
Right.
Wait till like now.
And that's what happens with the too many cooks in the kitchen and not having a Kevin Feige type.
The Incredible Hulk came out 5 weeks after Iron Man.
Yeah, and that's before they were even.
And we didn't really know
right
at the time.
Yeah, that was
like 100% that it was connected.
Holy shit, Iron Man's in this bar.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember hearing like whispers. It was like murmur. Like I think he has a cameo. And then it was like shortly after it was in theaters, it started showing up in the commercials on TV. And we're trying to sell the movie.
Putting a team together. Right, yeah. What was it? It was something like Fandom, or one of those accounts on Twitter was just like happy like 13th, 14th anniversary to the day that Jon Favreau got hired to direct Iron Man.
Yeah.
And I was just like, bitch, is it the anniversary of when he got hired to direct The Incredible Hulk, or the anniversary of when him and Louis Leterrier switched projects?
Right, yeah, I remember you said that.
Nobody replied, but it was
swinging doors things.
It was a geek flex.
Yeah. But I just wanted to bring that up because we'll see. It's interesting the contrast between the two companies.
Nah, yeah, I don't trust Warner Brothers.
Still,
but it's so fun. It's so telling. Like every time we talk about, and we do it a lot. Anytime we talk about like DC and Warner Brothers or Marvel and Disney, the tone, like, it never changes. Like, this is Marvel. This is the Marvel episode, and it's nothing but like, oh, we're talking about like it's real. Like, we're talking about like it's the news. Like, it'll be really interesting to see where this goes and what they do with this. And it's like, and you know what's funny? It's like Warner Brothers and DC, and it's like, yeah, it's immediately.
But look what's happening though. It's what they do. It's
man.
Like, I would say it's like I don't even hate the DC, but it's just like there's so many things coming out that I'm like excited for. Like, I can't wait for the Flash movie. Yeah. But it's still I hope they just correct the ship at some point. Whereas Marvel, it's like if DC right now announced seven future projects.
2 of them would come out.
I would be like, nope, maybe, nope. Like, that's not coming. I'm not even putting energy into that. Like, I don't care. Marvel, what was in December or whatever at the Expo, announced like 30 things.
All of that shit's coming.
And it's like in the pipeline. It's ready to go. They have it all set up. They're not delaying anything. Like,
and it's a reason. Like you said, the big gap between Man of Steel and BVS, and it's still the fact to this day. Why don't we have an official Man of Steel sequel?
It's like I said,
Woman is in probably development for her 3rd movie. Black Adam is shooting.
But
Aquaman is going into the 2nd movie.
Critical reaction, because like Twitter influence wasn't as strong in 2013. But it was like critical reaction and Rotten Tomatoes score like wasn't that high on Man of Steel.
Yeah.
Man of Steel's not that great, guys. It's not that good. It's time.
We're hanging up.
Time to grow up. It's not that. It's okay. It's good.
You bite your tongue.
But even still, most of Man of Steel, like however you feel, like it or love it, most of that can be attributed to Zack Snyder.
Right.
It's like you either love like the shit he was doing in that movie, or it's like eye roll.
Yeah, like
to me,
that's it.
But it was mostly like, oh my god.
But whether you like it, either or, whatever, it ain't Green Lantern.
Whatever the complaints were for Watchmen, that's when like critics like went like anti-Snyder.
Yeah.
I don't think he's had a positively reviewed movie since Watchmen.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't know. Like, he's like more self-indulgent. He's kind of like an artsy Michael Bay. Like, it's like
that's so great
stuff. Like it's, I don't like. He's got more good movies than bad movies. In my opinion.
Definitely.
I remember people, critics, fans, whoever, gushing over 300.
300, yeah.
Like, it was like the best. It was like the most manliest man movie of all time. It was the man's man movie.
Yeah.
And
And what I
then-
hate about that, what people are doing, like you said, Randy, like for some reason after Watchmen, people just went most people are anti-Snyder, and they're retroactively going back and trying to talk crap about movies they like 300 and Dawn of the Dead. Dawn of the Dead is still one of the best remakes ever.
It's great.
Dawn of the Dead is his best movie, in my opinion.
Yeah, you can't even argue that.
What he was going for and like what we got.
Wow.
I love Dawn of the Dead.
And also, Dawn of the Dead is not just a great remake; it accomplishes something. It's been a great remake to a movie that was good.
Yeah, like
the original one.
Dawn of the Dead is like masterpiece level. Like it's like classic, and it's not. It's almost like one of those things. It's kind of like the Child's Play remake, where it's like barely a remake. It's just too similar that they couldn't have called it something else. They couldn't have called it like Twilight of the Dead. Like a remake of Dawn of the Dead because they're at the mall and it's very similar. But it's just kind of like it's its own movie. It stands perfectly on its own. Like I can watch them separately and not think like, oh, this is the remake of Dawn of the Dead.
But the criticisms of Snyder is interesting, and like Man of Steel. I don't think the criticism is so much that the movie itself, like narratively and technically, was bad. It's the within the movie decisions Snyder decided to make that people didn't agree with, as in how the public reacted to Superman himself in the movie, which I think was modernized. And I still agree with this. Just like in BBS, people wouldn't praise this dude immediately.
Yeah.
They would be afraid of him and skeptical.
Exactly.
And you got to realize Superman was new at his job, and people, I remember this, they criticized what he did with Zod. And and that's the point of it. And people were upset that, he didn't just, if you didn't see Man of Steel, spoiler, he didn't just break his neck and put his hands on his hip.
It's 8 years old.
He killed him and he was upset about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was a character.
That.
Yeah. And it's like, what was the alternative?
Exactly.
Like, everybody's just like,
let him kill the family.
Like, what would you have preferred? Him let him go and like even if all that happened was he killed that like little family that was in there.
Nah, like
that's still bad. Like that's horrible.
And people say, "Oh, they destroyed the city." People say Superman destroyed the city. No.
Avengers came out the year before.
Right.
Like,
it's like really not fair.
And Warner Brothers has done nothing but destroy cities in their big budget shit ever since.
Yeah.
When we watching that show, Invincible on Prime.
No, I need to get to that. That's real good. That's like start that Monday.
But it's also like this last episode of it. That's all it is. It's like two people fighting, and it's like they're just destroying the city, and like they're fighting, and the one guy's like, "Stop doing this! You're causing so much damage." And he's just like, "Oh, you think that's damage?" Then he goes and just like wrecks a whole like train and like. It's like that's all a movie is now. That we have these budgets that we can do this, Batman and Robin, that's all it was freezing the city.
And even in Man of Steel, Zod literally says himself, "I'm going to kill all of these people and destroy it." And y'all surprised that he actually almost followed through with it.
The dream sequence of Superman drowning in skulls. Like, what do you think that? Like, do you think that stuff's creepy?
But anyway, it's just the unfairness of most of the criticisms. Like you said, Marvel does it, and nobody bats an eye with the destruction of they're not doing it themselves. The bad people are doing it, and there's the fallout from it. But yeah, it's crazy.
Marvel does acknowledge it. Like, it's Civil War. Fine. I mean, later. That's what it's about. Like, they're like, hey, remember the time, like, we just, like, the whole city floated in the air, and like we tried to catch it with our hands. Like that was really stupid. like that's the whole thing. Like, and that's what Batman versus Superman is. Like that's the whole beginning. Is like, look at this, sucks.
But you know what's funny though? In Civil War, when Ross is showing them Sokovia and all this, I like how he didn't mention the Harlem when he released a monster on it.
It's like there's an entire city block of Harlem that's like gone now.
But anywho, it's just it's interesting the criticism, and which I think is definitely unjustified when it comes to Zack Snyder, and I can understand if you don't like what Watchmen is and how it's presented, but I don't think you can objectively say it's a bad movie.
Hell no. I just theatrical version of Watchmen to me is like good.
Yeah.
The ultimate cut or whatever it's called, like the director's cut, like the ultimate cut that has the if you ever heard the Tales of the Black Freighter, the animated movie, it's spliced in to the movie.
Yeah, because it's a kid reading the comic with the movie that you only
so well. Like it's so cool when it cuts away to that and goes.
I honestly think that version is a masterpiece. That's just me.
To me, that's his best movie. That's like a 5, and like the regular version is like a 3.5.
Right.
So like I think I give Watchmen like a total like a 4. Like if sometimes I don't really consider like a separate cut.
And it's like what you said about the comparison. Snyder is a artsy fartsy Michael Bay, and it's the reason like
the kind of
long
spot on
cut of Watchmen and his 4-hour Zack Snyder cut and this and that, and he likes to tell movies on epic scales.
Yeah.
When it comes to those, and that's for a reason.
That's the difference between them two dudes, though. You give Michael Bay a budget, man, and he's throwing product placement and explosions and giving you a 2.5 hour schlock.
Yeah, an American flag.
Snyder cares.
That's what it's like. The Snyder cut Justice League did not have to be 4 hours.
No.
But he used the 4 hours to tell the story he wanted to tell in 4 hours. He was like, well, if I don't have to cut anything out,
his cut in theaters, I think his cut in theaters might have been like 2:45.
Yeah. Which still probably would have been too long. But it's like
one thing. No, go ahead. I'm sorry, Nick.
No, I was just like, Michael Bay puts out the Transformers movie.
Oh Jesus, which one?
Age of Extinction, Last Night.
Well, none of those movies need to be over 2 hours and 40 minutes. No. A couple of them are.
The first one with Mark Wahlberg is like almost 3 hours long.
Yeah.
It's like 160 some minutes long. I saw that movie with my, I want to say, 13-year-old nephew at the time.
Yeah. And you feel how long it is.
He was the audience for that shit. Like, he loved Transformers. And we sat in the theater and he was like, this is long. I was like, yeah, this is horse shit. Like, this is so much. Like, what is happening?
God.
He's like, we have the pill, the Beats pill, TM.
It's a little, that whole part is a commercial.
And it was like, oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh,
I do not want to rewatch those before the next one.
And Stanley Tucci, he did the same thing when they were in China and he had this milk.
Yeah. Yes, and it's the taste of the new generation. It's literally that, like the scene from Wayne's World.
Hey, you got to get this budget.
That for 3 hours.
Yo.
With the occasional dinosaur robot.
But before I steer us back to Marvel, do we think Army of the Dead is over or under 20% on Rotten Tomatoes?
It's gonna be like 40, I think. There's gonna be, because there's a lot of here we go again. There's a lot of blue check marks that don't like Snyder.
Yeah.
And those blue check marks are Rotten Tomatoes certified critics.
Exactly.
And I bet you a lot of them are not even gonna watch the movie
and give it rotten.
And give it a rotten. That's just what I guarantee it's not gonna be fresh. And if it is, remember this episode and I'll be really surprised. But I want to touch on one more thing about Zack Snyder. And this is what separates him, I think, from a type of filmmaker than Michael Bay. It's about his characters. He does something in a superhero movie that I've never really seen in any superhero movies. He fights, Cyborg fights a certain type of crime that's never been fought by a superhero. He fights property. And that scene, what he does with the young lady, the waitress. And, that's a crime, that type of property. And, yeah. Because it doesn't need to happen, and it happens outside of the circumstances which you can control.
Yeah.
That's a real thing. It sounds weird. It sounds weird to most, but think about it, and you'll see what I'm talking about. Crime isn't just, big people coming from the sky and you fight them with your fists. It's property.
What waitress?
You remember?
I forgot this whole part.
You say what now?
Oh, where he hacks into the ATM and he like, okay.
Yes.
Yeah. That was dope. Man, what? Like.
Yes, but when she gets evicted from her apartment, she's working the waitress job. She goes to the ATM. Yeah, that part is what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
And he gives her the what's the name? That's what I'm talking about. Like that whole scene, I think is you can see an executive like, oh, who gives a damn about?
Yeah. everything Cyborg that was cut was like some emotional that would have like resonated with somebody watching, and it all got cut out.
Yeah, with most people,
I would love the opportunity, like just as like a project. It's like somebody gave me the 4-hour Snyder cut and said, "Here, cut this down, edit this to make it presentable, like 2.5 hours long, 240." I would love to do that. Like, I would love to see like what I would cut out.
And there's a really good right. A 240 movie that'll work that you can still keep that cyborg stuff.
I would cut out almost no cyborg stuff.
Yeah.
I would cut out some Flash stuff. I would cut out the entire car crash.
Iris
I hate to say it, but yeah, the Iris scene was useless.
Yeah.
It was a good scene, but it's going to be, that's the scene for his own movie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was artsy, but it did not. I really, in terms of Justice League, starting with the Flash, started with Barry like at the jail and like writing on the dude's face. That was kind of funny. We didn't need that, but like starting with him in the jail cell, like Thard was dead. Where we could have started. That would have cut out like more than 5 minutes. Marty on a roll. Marty doing.
Speaking of Justice League, I know before we move along, check out Corridor Crew. They're an independent visual effects company. They have a YouTube page where they do react videos and they edit videos. They did a version where they put the mustache back on Superman.
Oh no!
For his scene, and this is hilarious. But yeah, and enough about that. I guess
No, I'm gonna keep talking. I thought that CGIing out the mustache made more sense than just putting the movie in the theater as it was.
Oh man, yeah.
I still don't think like the Snyder Cut coming out in the theater in November 2017. I don't know if it would have been done any better at the box office. Probably not. And like it would have maybe been a little better. It may have been like 50s or 60s. I feel like critics would have been like, "Oh God, this is still a lot of movie."
Yeah, that'll be unfortunately a we'll never know thing. But I think one thing that doesn't get credit that is still a thing like before the pandemic and all that is word of mouth. It would have definitely, I think, had better word of mouth and probably made a tad bit more.
That's my favorite Ludacris album.
It was great. It's a great album.
It would have had better word of mouth. I don't know if it would have amounted to much, but still, they put out the fucking shit that they put out.
Yeah,
and it still didn't make money and got bad word of mouth. It's like what would have been? It would have been the lesser of two evils. It would have been like, well, at least they could have even said like, "We told you so." Like they could have been like, "See, we're done. We're done with this. We're done with."
I'm done with DC, man.
No, I'm talking about DC.
Olivia Colman and Emilia Clarke are supposedly casting Secret Invasion.
And it's funny because Emilia Clarke is supposed to be in Aquaman, bringing it back to DC.
No, they not, because Amber Heard is not getting bumped because
she's still in there.
They'll remove Johnny Depp, but they're not gonna remove the chick that cut off his finger, and she's not in Secret Invasion. But Olivia Colman, who just voiced the antagonist in the Mitchells vs. the Machines, is maybe a Skrull. I hope Emilia Clarke not a Skrull. I don't want to see her as a Skrull.
No,
she's too fun.
I don't know. I don't know the Secret Invasion. Like what?
I think this is the Nick Fury series, and since he's been like up on like moon base Skrull anyway, I don't know, cause aren't they setting up like a secondary shield or some shit up there? Like not is it Sword or was Sword in WandaVision?
No, Sword was WandaVision there.
Yeah.
Okay, I forget what it is, but I think there's a new like agency.
You know, it's definitely but who knows which one they're gonna go with, which name.
Yeah. I thought they showed it in the Far From Home post credit scene or whatever.
Yeah, need to go
He was up like in I don't know. He was up in like some government looking.
Yeah.
Built.
Yeah, that's nuts. That's still the last official Marvel movie. Far
Right.
From Home.
We needed a break. We needed that year break.
No, I agree. Yeah, it's taking away fatigue.
We didn't even get it. We got like 2 TV shows already. Loki on the way, and we didn't even get it. But I didn't hate the breather. I just hated that like Black Widow was like on the cusp of being, and it just
boom
did that.
We'll see in July.
I don't need no breather. Man, we watch so many movies, man. There's no comic book movie overkill. Shut the hell up.
Nah. As long as good movies from the genres produced, it's not going to be, you don't hear, there's comedy fatigue or...
No,
exactly.
Like, the only people feeling the fatigue are people that don't, like, they watch them, like, recreationally. It's like, Yeah. Like, I'll catch this if I feel like it. It's like, my mother does not, like, she doesn't watch the Marvel. She doesn't follow. She might watch one here or there. She just doesn't care. And, like, that's fine. But it's like, someone like her, like, she'd probably be like, Jesus Christ, what is this now? Like, what? Shang-Chi, like, who is that? Like, what are we, we're just going to keep doing them? It's like, yes. The people that follow it, it's just like, yes, we only got 3 Marvel movies this year instead of 5. Like, yes, we want more. Like, we forget that there was the time period where we were just not getting superhero movies on this level, even close. Like, when the 2002 Spider-Man came out, it was the greatest movie of all time. Like,
all time.
It will never be a better movie than this, ever. Like, I can't believe we're getting this. And it's like,
and then Spider-Man 2 came out.
Like, it's crazy. And, like, now, Spider-Man, it's like they say, he's jumping through Doctor Strange's portals and trying to get Thanos' glove. Like, I was like, if you'd have told me that was going to happen when I was 12, I would have been like, fuck you. Like, get out. Fuck you. It's like, no, I promise. Black Panther is going to come out of a portal with the entire Wakandan army. And then, like, the Guardians of the Galaxy are over here and Thor's over here. Fuck you. Get out of here. Shut up.
Lock you right up.
Like, hell no, I don't have fatigue. I'm like, more. I'm like, make it more. Like, more. Make it make sense more.
But man, that's another thing. Like, the last thing that I wrote down was like another thing that I saw on Twitter that like I hadn't really thought of, but it kind of like blew my mind when I saw it. The Loki show is gonna break off into one of those Ancient One like side like alternate realities, because it's gonna go from 2012, the first Avengers movie, into his own show.
Right.
So he's still the God of Mischief doing his thing, and that just makes me even more excited for Loki.
Right. Yeah, it's real intrigued to see how they treat that.
There's potential. I don't know. Have they said, is it like 8 episodes, or is it only 6, or is it 10? Or,
no idea.
But it's like, I don't know. It's like they want to keep it contained to like a series. So I don't know how much they're going to do. There's a lot they could do with the premise of the Loki show. They could fuck up the whole timeline. Like, they could screw up everything from the entire
6 episodes.
6 episodes. See, that's what I said. It's like, it's only 6. They might want to like get down to brass tacks and like get to the point. Like, they could do a lot of, I don't want to say damage. Like, they could have a lot of fun with the whole series, just with the premise of the Loki show. But I don't know. I don't know how far they'll go.
As long as we get one wow from Owen Wilson.
Yeah, it'll be in there. There's no way it can't be.
Wow.
It's got to be at least.
Either? Like, ooh, I don't know. I don't know what they're going to do. But it's just the fact that he's alive is like weird enough to me that I'm like,
Yeah.
like, because that happened in 2012 and he disappeared and now he's gonna be over here. There could be a lot of fun stuff in that.
Yeah, so unless he just like time travels throughout the whole thing, like it should, you would think, take place after the first Avengers.
Yeah, I don't know. It'll be like some kind of like wacky Bill and Ted type thing.
Yeah.
But again, I say like if they made Loki the movie, to me that's weird. Like that sounds weird. Like I don't know, like who would have been chomping at the bit, like, oh, finally a Loki movie.
Right.
Yeah.
That's weird.
That's the genius
But
thing
Loki
about.
before, I'm like, oh my god, this is gonna be great.
He's caught
It's gonna
such a
explain
wave.
so much.
He's caught such a wave of popularity though. Like there's so many like hype beast Loki fanboys that people would watch a Loki movie.
Yeah, I mean they would watch it. I don't think it would be a flop, but it's like, especially now, like who would have thought that like the Guardians of the Galaxy and like Ant-Man, like who would have thought on paper that those would have been hits?
Kevin Feige.
I remember going into the first
Wright.
Avengers and like them being like Loki's the villain. I was like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you see.
Really?
yeah, I was kind of really like they're just gonna mop Loki. Like that's not a. But yeah, when it was over, by the time the Dark World came, which everyone shits on the Dark World, and I like it for this reason, if no other. But it was like when Loki's scenes were almost like anytime he had a scene, I was like, it was almost like Heath Ledger in The Dark Knight. Not quite on that level, but it was like those were the scenes where you like stopped, you like zeroed in. We're like, time to pay attention. So it was like Loki became a way more interesting character after that. Then he died.
That
Then
was
he
for
came
New
back.
York.
Then he died.
And it's interesting, the mandate, the original version of that movie is didn't have a lot of Loki.
Oh, I'm sure they were filming. They were probably filming. They were probably filming when the first Avengers came out.
Yeah.
And the reaction and popularity was like, hey, we need more Loki.
Yeah, and they mandated, because the director said it's a lot of great stuff from the villain that was left on the floor at the expense of Loki.
Call Hiddleston. So it's Tom Hiddleston's fault that Malekith is the worst villain in the whole universe.
Yeah, I guess technically to a degree that's correct.
Is he that bad though?
Yes, he sucks.
I don't think it's just that he doesn't have any development, and he's just
still Thor's mom,
and it makes his motive weak.
I think he's kind of just boring. Like as a character, he's kind of bland.
Sorry,
like,
dude.
as a villain,
That's what happened when you don't have development.
I said what I said.
Like, villain,
and
Thor's mom.
what's his fucking name? Not Thomas Kretschmann. I can see his face.
There was
The dude who played Malekith.
Forget his name.
He didn't enjoy that shit at all.
Yeah.
His name will come as soon as we hang up. I'll be like, boom.
But yeah, supposedly Loki was originally supposed to come into the movie after Thor's mom died, and he needed to get some help for the dimension thing to get for the portal.
Let's do
and
Get
all
Help.
of the scenes before that are reshoots or additional photography to include them.
That would have been good. He would have gone down to the prison and he'd just like been there, like fucking Hannibal Lecter. Like, well.
Yeah,
But I mean,
that's kind of what they were going for.
I like seeing the stuff beforehand too. I like the Dark World. I don't. It's still lower ranked, but I like the Dark World.
Ranked.
No.
Last ranked.
Dead last?
No. Iron Man 2 is last.
Man, that's a.
I still love Iron Man 2. I don't have any MCU movie rated below a 3.5.
I want my Boyd.
Speaking of people that didn't like the experiences,
No shit, right?
But yeah, we'll talk all day about that.
Mickey Rourke is already such a goofy ass personality, and for Iron Man 2 to be rushed like that, yeah, he had to have been pissed off.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Oscar not E.
Apparently, he's Michael Myers now, so.
Hey, fuck that shit.
Oh man.
That's all I have for this episode for real, and we clocking in 1:45. Yeah. Anything y'all want to close out on?
No,
We got 15 minutes to talk more about DC. No.
I'm tapped.
Yeah, I'll stop because I could just keep talking all day.
It might be a weird ass topic, but I think next episode we can like talk about the Saw franchise.
Oh, that won't be weird at all.
Yes, it's gonna be like a 4-hour long episode.
Fuck it, let's go. In 2 weeks we talking Saw. Stay tuned because I'm gonna wrap up this episode. It's Rec League Podcast, motherfucker. Yo. You lack the drive, this my ride, you a passenger. I pump the aortic, you lack the cardiovascular. Don't nobody beat me on these beats, it's a massacre. Eat your beats, read your tweets, cause you don't be in these streets. You pip squeaks in this game, I can't be bothered. Motherfucking children, and I am the seed's father. Any beat I spit over, it will be conquered. You John Walker, I'm Steve Rogers. You acting ass, old ladies, don't be author. Don't write your own rhymes. Nearsighted motherfuckers can't see farther. Stay getting my cut like I'm glued to the chair at the barber. Lack drive, check the diagnostics. It might be starter. If they don't like my vibe, they can suck what's under tummy. Cause these other rappers is faker than Usher money. That's a Twitter search. These dudes ain't heard a litter verse. But since y'all spit trash, all y'all got is litter words. And chill until the next episode.